I want to talk to you about identity theft, and the thing is that there are some warning signs this year you have to really sort of pay attention to if something were to happen to you. Okay, so here are the warnings I want you to really look at. So the thing is that when you think about identity theft, you got to think about a crime that has been growing like crazy in the states, but also globally. Okay, and the thing is that what really makes identity theft so dangerous is that it's often hard to spot before it's too late, right? I mean, it's one of those crimes where it happens in the background, and before you know it, things are already very dangerous or very worse. And identity theft can strike anyone at any time. You are listening to me, you can actually be struck by identity theft, not a problem. And while there are plenty of ways you can make yourself a less desirable target, there is actually no guaranteed way to prevent identity theft this year. Okay, and but what you can do is to actually instead of trying to be reactive, it's good to be proactive. Okay, and so the earlier you can spot the warning signs of identity theft, the better chance you'll have of, let's say, shutting down scammers before they can do too much damage to your life, to your family's life, to everything that you have been working hard to actually achieve. Okay, and identity theft is really a constantly evolving crime, and knowing that criminals are after your data, your personal data, your social security number, your family's and first names, last name, like a lot of stuff. Like when it comes to identity theft, you can have a credit card and bank fraud, government benefits fraud, online account takeovers. That's kind of crazy, but it happens every single day in this country. You have investment scams, you have data breaches, so you have a lot of stuff happening. So here are the signs I want to share with you in terms of identity theft. Number one, you have unfamiliar charges on your bank statement. When you have those unfamiliar charges on your bank statement, you know you have been the victim of identity theft. Number two, you have strange or unrecognized credit card charges. Like out of the blue, somebody's charging your credit card, and you know deep inside that you have not authorized that transaction. This is also a possible sign of identity theft. If you have a new credit cards or loans in your name, also, this could be a possibility that you have been a victim of identity theft, because loans, credit cards, those sort of credit transactions are actually the precursor of identity theft. And if you also have unexpected calls from debt collectors, this could also be a possibility. This could also be a warning sign when it comes to identity theft this year. So be very careful. Okay, very important. Another way you know that you have been a victim of identity theft is that if you deny credit. I mean, can you imagine? You know that your credit score is maybe a 700 or a 725, and the last time you took a loan or credit card was maybe 5 years ago. So your credit score is pretty your credit is pretty spotless, right? But then you apply for credit and something happened and you are rejected. This could be a sign that someone else has been abusing your credit in the meantime without you knowing it. Okay, so this is something to really start digging a little deeper. Also, if you have bounced checks, if you know you have available funds, let's say you know that the same thing, kind of similar to your credit score. So let's say that you have money in your bank, right? 5,000, 10,000, and you start actually writing checks, and before you know it, your checks are actually are bouncing like crazy. So if you write a check and it bounces, review your bank account activity immediately, because a bounce check could indicate that a criminal has accessed your bank account and withdrawn all of your cash, or even committed another bank scam. So if that's the case, you want to contact your bank right away. You'll need to change the password to your online banking profile and close the bank account completely. And you might also want to basically ask the bank to place stop payments on any pending transactions, as well as cancel and replace any debit cards that are associated with a compromised bank account. And if need be, you might want to contact law enforcement also to sort of let them know that something is some kind of shenanigans are having going on. If you have a sudden drop in your credit score, this is also a warning sign of identity theft. Okay, I mean, like a credit score doesn't just drop like crazy out of a blue. Something must actually trigger that drop, because I mean, unless you have filed for bankruptcy, or you have actually skipped some payments on your credit card or loan, your credit score is not going to drop overnight like crazy, right? But if it does, then you know that something is really happening. So this is also a warning sign of identity theft. So for added security, you want to really make sure that you are checking your credit reports like frequently. This could be monthly, this could be quarterly, but it has to be frequently so that if something were to happen, you are actually at least you know that something is something fishy is actually happening there. Okay, this is really important. Another sign of identity theft is if you have a hard inquiries on your credit report. Okay, because when you check your credit reports, you want to review actually the number of hard inquiries that you have received, because basically, unless you initiated a credit application, you shouldn't be having a lot of hard inquiries, because a business can make two kinds of requests to a credit reporting agency: soft inquiries and hard inquiries. And your bank makes soft inquiries, as do companies that offer pre-approval. They are nearly always harmless and often happen without your knowledge, right? But hard inquiries are different, because hard inquiries, there are actually a denting, they're putting a dip, they are triggering a dip in your credit score. So hard inquiries must be approved by you before they happen. So if you see unfamiliar hard inquiries on your credit report, it's really an indication that someone else is applying for credit under your name. So this is a warning sign of identity theft. If you have calls verifying unfamiliar purchases, then you know that this is also a warning sign of identity theft, because a call, email, or text message attempting to verify an unfamiliar purchase is a classic warning sign of identity theft, and you got to really take care of this sort of thing real fast. Okay, and so if you get one of those messages from your credit card company or bank, you want to take it seriously. You want to investigate and report any unauthorized purchase attempts. But remember that calls like this are also a common phishing scam. So the only information you should provide is a simple yes or no to verify or flag the transaction. So if a strange caller contacts you to request more information, such as, let's say, your first name, last name, your account number, or password, it's really a scammer trying to steal your identity. Remember, the bank is never going to ask you your account number. The credit card company is not going to ask you your social security number. They already have it. Okay. And another warning sign of identity theft is if your health insurance benefits limits is maxed out. I mean, while not as well known as financial identity theft, medical identity fraud is a growing problem that should be taken seriously. And so the thing is that if your health insurance company, let's say, sends you a message saying that you have reached your benefits limit, you want to contact them immediately. And please, you want to go to the company's website, the official website, and you want to really see the number or the customer service number there, and you want to contact that specific number. No, nothing else, okay? So if a legitimate medical claim is denied due to an unexpected message from your health insurance provider, it's a red flag and should be really investigated immediately. So in this type of identity theft, a fraudster poses it as you in order to receive health care, and the scammer will receive a free medical treatment under your insurance policy, depleting your health coverage and leaving you uncovered. And if you have unfamiliar medical bills, this is also could be a warning sign of identity theft. Okay, a scammer can receive medical treatment using your identity, leaving you stuck with medical bills that you didn't receive care for. And if you receive strange or unfamiliar medical bills, you want to contact your insurance company or healthcare provider immediately to alert them of fraud. Because the whole thing is that you have to constantly pay attention to what's happening about your life and in your life. Also, if you have inaccurate information in your medical files, this could be another warning sign of identity theft. There are a few ways you might discover a new and inaccurate condition noted in your medical records. Can you imagine that you know that you are healthy, and all of a sudden your medical records are saying otherwise? That's really crazy. I mean, you might learn about the change through your healthcare provider via unexpected medical bills or from your insurance company. And in the latter case, you could actually get a notification that your health insurance has refused to cover you for pre-existing conditions you know you don't have, right? So health fraud of this type can be particularly difficult to resolve. So you want to get in touch with your healthcare and insurance provider immediately. Immediately. Don't wait. The longer you wait, the worse it can get. Also, if somebody stole your income tax refund, this is also a warning sign of identity theft. Because if somebody has fraudulently filed taxes under your name, if you get a notification from the IRS before you actually filed your taxes, this is a red flag. Okay, and because the motivation is that scammers want to claim your tax return payout, and if this happens, you want to report it to the IRS, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, and be sure to file a police report for identity theft. You gotta always contact law enforcement for this kind of crimes. Okay, if you have a warrant out for your arrest, you know that this could be a warning sign of identity theft, especially if you have never committed a crime. So even if you have never committed a crime, a criminal could have stolen your information and provided it to a law enforcement, making you a target. Okay, and so if you learn there is a warrant out for your arrest and you could be the victim of criminal identity theft, you want to take action immediately and contact your law enforcement, your local law enforcement, to provide actually proof of your identity and innocence. So if you have a reported income that's not yours, then you know that basically you might be a victim of identity theft. See, the whole thing is that basically somebody is actually taking money out of your account, or somebody is reporting money into your account. Those are like cash inflows and cash outflows. Those are really are precursors to identity theft. Okay, so this is really important. Another common form of tax fraud is when someone else uses your social security number to get a job. And this is often done to avoid a background check or prove eligibility for hiring. Okay, and even worse, it's very difficult to change your social even after identity theft. So if you receive a tax documents from, let's say, an employer that you know you have never contacted, is really a strong indicator of identity theft. If you have also missing mail, so if you are missing important mails or statements in the mail, identity thieves can actually reroute your bills or statement by using a change of address scam, and some may also steal important documents from your mailbox to try and obtain your personally identifiable information, or even commit deed fraud. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Can you imagine? You know that you have run your life like all in a legit manner, and all of a sudden you are accused of deed fraud. And deed fraud is really it's sort of serious. So you want to really make sure that you contact anybody. You want to contact your insurance, your bank, your credit card company, local law enforcement to actually make sure that you notify everybody. And you want to contact those third parties, especially if you are missing medical bills or financial statements. You should also verify that these companies have your correct address on file. Okay. And also another type of identity theft, another warning sign of identity theft, is actually if your utilities are suddenly shut off. I mean, something were to happen and all of a sudden you don't have hot water anymore. You know, because the utilities company is saying like, hey, listen, we haven't received your last check like 5 years ago. That's crazy. So if your utility provider or cell phone service suddenly gets cut off, it could be due to identity theft. So similar to rerouting your bills and financial statements, scammers can transfer utilities to another address, or even send a cellular service to an unauthorized phone number. It might sound a little trivial, but it is really serious. So in the case of a data breach, for instance, you could actually be the victim of a sophisticated type of hack, actually called SIM swapping. So T-Mobile was recently hacked, which impacted over 50 to 65 million customers. So if your utility service has been cut unexpectedly, you want to contact your utility provider right away to verify your information and also resolve any service interruptions. That's kind of important to really be proactive here. Do not wait for stuff to happen before you start taking action, okay? If your ID is lost or stolen, this could be a warning sign of identity theft. I mean, nobody loses his or her ID and nothing happens. I mean, because your ID has your name, has your first name, last name, has your address. It might have also some medical information. It depends on the kind of ID that was lost or stolen. Like if you have your driver's license, then that's a lot of info right there, right? A lot of info. and that could be in the wrong hands. So you do not want to have that. You do not want to. You want to stay away from that kind of a scenario. So after losing your wallet, you probably worry most about the cash or credit cards, and that's normal. Don't get me wrong, that's normal. Especially if you are the kind of person who likes to walk around with some heavy cash on himself or herself. But a stolen driver's license or a missing ID can be far more costly in the long run. In the long run, we are speaking here about the long run longevity here. So if you eventually find your wallet and notice that your driver's license is missing, you may actually become the victim of identity theft. That's for sure, 100%. If you are worried about identity theft after losing your ID, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to things like your driver's license, passport number, social security number, and more. And as a reminder, never keep your social security card in your wallet or purse, and do not carry too many credit cards in your wallet, 2 or 3 maximum. If you have also unfamiliar bills or packages arriving at your home, like you have an Amazon package, an Etsy package, an eBay package, and you rarely go on those websites, then you could actually be the victim of identity theft. Okay, so strange bills from unfamiliar services likely means that a scammer has applied for a new account in your name. So if you receive unfamiliar packages in the mail, it could be due to several types of schemes, depending on your geography, by the way. So one of the most common is health insurance fraud, where your insurance company is overcharged for health supplies you never ordered. Another red flag would be receiving new credit card bills for an account you never opened. If you get any mysterious packages or bills in the mail, you want to contact the company that has sent them to you and alert them of fraud. You should also review your own financial accounts for suspicious activity and change all of your passwords immediately. Another warning sign of identity theft is if you can't sign into your account. You attempt to sign into a website that you'll visit all the time, like Facebook Marketplace or Etsy or eBay or you name it, or even YouTube, right? You are usually signed in automatically, but this time you are prompted to re-enter your password. And every time you enter your password, it returns an error. So if you are locked out of an account, this means that someone hacked your account and changed your password. So you want to immediately try all possible recovery options and contact customer support if you're stuck. Do not wait, because the time is of the essence here. And another scenario you want to really think about is if an account looks different when you log in. But before I actually talk about account looking different when you log in, I want you to go back quickly to the fact that you can't sign into an account. So what you want to do is that if you want to further enhance your password safety, you want to avoid storing a sensitive password in Google Chrome or Safari keychain. You want to use Google Authenticator or Authy for 2FA instead of SMS when possible. You want to use Face ID on your mobile device for as many online services as possible. Choose a strong, unique password for all your online accounts. Use a secure password manager that streamlines all of your password management. You want to always keep your mobile apps and device operating software updated to the most recent versions. That way, you know that you are getting all the fixes, the bug fixes, and what have you. And so when you are prompted to update your software, you always do it, and never browse public Wi-Fi due to vulnerabilities. Always use a secure VPN for all of your devices. And so the next thing is if an account looks different when you log in, you have to really understand that something might happen. Okay, something might have happened because usually those fake websites have design flaws and spelling errors. The imposter websites dupe you into logging in so they can steal your username and password. So if you accidentally open the spam email, never click any links. But scammers have become more sophisticated. It's all about you being proactive. It's all about you being smart from the get-go. Like, you have to really think about those things strategically. And I want to really also share with you another warning sign of identity theft, and that's if you have suspicious login attempts to your social media or other account. Let's say your Facebook account, your YouTube account, your Instagram, your like you name it. Okay, So if you get alerts about login attempts that were not yours, it could be an identity theft warning sign. And a login attempt notification means that someone tried to scam you online and access your account that couldn't figure out your password. If this happens, you should actually set up two-factor authentication and use the password manager to create a strong, unguessable password. Next, if you have authentication messages for accounts you don't recognize, right? If you have, let's say, you have received verification text or emails for an account you didn't set up, it means a hacker is using your email to open new accounts. And this is really bad, but hey, listen, it is what it is. So what you want to do is, going back to what I told you about being proactive here, you never click any links or verify any accounts that you didn't create in the first place. And in these instances, you should change the password on your email account, enable 2FA, so two-factor authentication, and monitor the account for other suspicious alerts. If you have also emails alerting you of a data breach, something were to happen, you know that, hey, listen, you have to be actually on the lookout for your data going to the wrong hands. Okay. Unfortunately, data breaches have become far too common. So nearly everyone today has gotten one of these emails before. So a company lets you know that your information, along with millions of other customers, has been hacked. And of course, they recommend changing your password immediately. And so this is something to really think about. And if you also receive a fraud alerts are a smart way, to prevent identity theft before it happens, not after it's too late, right? It's all about being proactive, not reactive. So it's one of those things where you have to really make sure that you are taking care of your identity in a proactive manner, and actually implement certain strategies and certain procedures today so that you can actually protect your identity, your family's identities, your everybody who who is in your house and who really sort of counts for you, who matters to you. You want to protect them. So here's a closure here. So in today's conversation, I spoke to you about a few key warning signs of identity theft, and I give you the warnings, the signs, and now the closure. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.